everyone. I'm Lori. I am the eldest grandchild. And as Tita Rina Jimenez David earlier said that some of us are entering our golden years, I myself, the eldest grandchild, will be entering my golden year 2 years from now. So it is quite a place of honor to be the eldest grandchild. Happy birthday, Lola. Can you hear me? All right. So I'll have to take my glasses off. Talagang 2 years away from golden years. So here is an excerpt from the letter of Davy, eldest son of Tita Puput and Tito June Galvez, who lives with his wife Michelle, son Alex, and daughter Hannah in Concord, California. He talks of Lola instilling in him the love for reading. My strongest memory of Lola Nena is of her reading to me when I was probably 3 or 4 years old. In fact, it's one of my earliest memories, period. We were living in Singapore at our Orchard Road flat, and she would read my favorite book to me called Are You My Mother? It's the story of a baby bird who is lost and keeps asking different animals, Are you my mother? Lola would also then crack my toes by wiggling each one and then gently tugging them until they cracked. Lola. When I became a parent with Alex, I made it a point to find that very same book so I could read it to him. I also sometimes crack my kids' toes and tell them about their Super Lola and how she would do the same thing with my toes. Lola inspired me as a parent to read to my kids, hopefully building lifelong memories with them as well as a love of books. So the next excerpt is from the letter of Marga Domingo Bautista, who is the eldest daughter of Tito Jet and Tita Marife, who speaks of Lola's compassion. Marga, like Lola, has found her passion and calling in teaching grade 1 kids at the international school in Kuala Lumpur. I'll always remember the time you visited us in Kuala Lumpur and we walked around the night market. We walked at your pace, and I remember you stopping in your tracks upon seeing a homeless person begging for money in the middle of the road. You instantly bent down to that person's level and handed over our takeaway leftovers from dinner. You took his hand and whispered something in his ear. Right there in the middle of a concrete road where everyone else was busy going about their lives, actively avoiding this stranger, you took a moment and acted with compassion. I can only imagine how grateful that person felt. You made someone invisible feel seen and his needs considered. From Halifax, Canada, Nico Ocampo Bautista, only child of Tito Bingo and Tita Nympha, writes about how his decision-making process is guided by Lola. Though I may be separated from you by over 10,000 kilometers and I've been unable to be with you as much as I would like, you have nevertheless been a massive influence in my life. As a young man going about life and facing various new experiences, trials, and tribulations, there is a persistent thought in the back of my mind that poses the questions, what would Lola do? What would Lola think? In response to these questions, my approach to life has always been tempered with what I have always associated with Lola: level-headedness, spirituality, calmness, and wisdom. The fourth letter is from Kota Kinabalu, where Aina, the Tito Ton's youngest child, lives with her husband Ethan Lam and her only child Kyle. Aina thanks Lola for being a super Lola in the real meaning of the word super. Thank you for being the rock of the Bautista family. Growing up, we, your grandchildren, and now your great-grandchildren, saw you as quite literally a super Lola, a strong, loving, prayerful woman with a beautiful face and a more beautiful heart and a very intelligent mind. You have been an inspiration to so many of us, and we can only wish to be even half of what you are. The last letter, closer to home, Therese Yaco Bautista, only child of Tito Noel and Tita Snowy, talks about the letter that Lola wrote to her during Therese's christening party 24 years ago, which Lola entitled Lola's Legacy. Therese considers this letter as one of her most prized possessions. Here are excerpts from Therese's letter to Lola. I hold this letter dear to me because it is proof that both of us shared a special intimate moment together, just you and me. And in a very big family like ours, moments like that do not come often. As a baby, I can't even remember how it was to be held and carried in your arms, as you had so written in your letter. But I am certain that it gave me a safe and homey feeling. Your household and your family have always evoked love, safety, and warmth, which is why I always look forward to any Bautista occasion. In your letter, you talked about how I was dawn and you were sunset, how with all of its chaos and intricacies, one of the most important things in life is to appreciate the richness and preciousness of things and people. You mentioned how even in the most ordinary, there is always wonder and beauty, and that in life, there is a lot of loving to be done, and it is loving that makes living worth it. Lola has 27 grandchildren and 20 wrote letters to her. The excerpts from these 5 letters paint a clear picture of Lola. Keen mind, compassionate heart, a loving soul who finds joy and beauty in all of God's creation. Happy birthday, Lola.